Hey, it's Tina Brinkley Potts, and welcome to this episode of Amplify Your Expertise. You know, I am a business strategist, online marketing trainer, and success coach, and I am just so excited to be able to share my platform with wonderful people who not only know how to do it, who not only have read the book, but are actually putting it into practice and doing the work and serving a lot of people. And today I am so excited to bring to you Lisa Santiago McNeill. Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Tina. Thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. You know, Lisa, not only does she have a publishing company, she is the coach's coach. She really works with heart-centered coaches who want to serve. You know, you have that big mission and you know you're meant to do it. You just don't really know how to get it out there. Well, Lisa is that person. She can help you get your book done. She can help you reframe your marketing so that you can really do what you know you've been set in this world to do. So before we jump in, I'm going to let Lisa say hi and tell a little bit more about herself.
Absolutely. Well, you hit the nail on the head, because what I have found is that there are so many heart-centered coaches in the world, individuals who know their gift. They are ministers, they're Reiki masters, they're life coaches, and they know how to do what it is that they do, but they have not learned how to create a business around it. They don't know how to structure it so that they can use it to earn money with. They are doing a great job of helping, healing, and hand-holding, but they are not taking those checks to the bank. And what we do is, what I do with my coaching and consulting services is to show them how to structure the business around that gift so that indeed their gifts can make room for them and they can leave a legacy to their children's children.
Okay, you guys, it's time to pull out those keyboards. Did you hear that? Your gifts can make room for you. Type that in, because I want you to know that. Like in this episode, what we are going to talk about today is for a lot of those heart-centered entrepreneurs that might be facing getting a job, not because your gift isn't there, it's just because you really haven't learned to create the business around it. And we're going to dive into that today. But the first thing, you really have to jump into participation. That's what I'm really about around here. Participate so that you can start getting and your gift can get bigger. And that first thing is by typing in your gift will make room for you.
Absolutely.
So, we're going to let Lisa help today. I mean, listen, in 30 minutes, right? In a short amount of time, she's going to begin the process of your gift making room for you. So sit back and get ready for this. So Lisa, what's the first thing that people need to do to make this happen?
So the first thing, obviously, is to discover their gift, understand what the gift is, maximize everything they need to do around creating the expertise that they need to have. I'm not trying to help people to earn money with their gift that's not developed. We want to know that you have a gift, right?
So you got to know what you know, what you know.
Know what you know, what you know.
Mm-hmm.
But after you know what you know, in order to persevere at anything, you got to know why. Discover your why. And that will be the fuel that keeps you going while you are setting things up and establishing things. Mm-hmm. It's really, really important to understand that you may have gotten into financial services, you may have gotten into personal training, you may have gotten into life coaching, but what got you there? What got you there? Typically is an experience that you went through that you wish that somebody else had helped you to get through quicker.
Whew, now that's a jewel right there.
Right? Because we gravitate towards what we've learned in life through experiences typically that have pain associated with them. So when you nestle down and identify what that is, that why is going to fuel you. Because if you're anything like me and most of the heart-centered coaches that I work with, you don't ever want anybody else to have to experience what you went through as long as you went through it on their own. without you, especially if you know how to help them. That's both a blessing and a curse.
A blessing and a curse. Now let's talk about anchoring that why, because, you know, Lisa, I want you to jump into that because, you know, again, my favorite thing is people are a repository of information, and I've always told them libraries don't make money. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of coaches out there who will say, you got to know your why. But again, like you said, they haven't learned how to create the business around it. Right. So can you tell them how to use the why? Because some people may know it, but they don't know when to use the tool.
Yes. So the why is critical in a couple of areas. One is that it's fuel. It will keep you going even when you're ready to quit. But the second thing is it will help you to identify your ideal client, because your why is helping you to create the avatar for which your business is designed, for whom your business is designed, for whom your problem will solve, your solution will solve, what problem your solution will solve. That why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to help children. Well, then you got to get narrow focus on who that audience is that's going to pay you that's helping children. Yeah. Oh, I want to help women. Okay, what do these women look like? What are their conditions? What situations are they currently in that they need this particular help? Oh, my why is because I went through this situation with domestic violence or whatever, and I don't want anybody else to be trapped in that condition again. Those are the whys that both fuel you and fund you. The why will both fuel you and fund you because it is driving your vehicle, which is your product or service, to the right audience. I don't care how wonderful my pool cleaning supplies are. In Alaska, they are not interested, right? So I gotta be able to drive my product to the right receptacle. Now, with that why, we're using it so that we both don't give up, and so that we are also connecting to the right person. But then in structuring the business with my clients, it's really helping them to understand that there are tiers and levels to the business. You've got to have clarity, you have to have creativity, and you have to make sure that you're giving people a chance to know that you are who you are. So you got to have credibility. The credibility is built over time through products or experiences. That's why I work mostly with authors, because as coaches and consultants, the best way to raise and gain credibility is to be published. You know it, you live it, you learn it, you write about it, and then you teach it, right? So
she gave you a couple of things, right? So you live it, you learn it, you write about it, then you teach it. Write that down. Write that down. So absolutely. So and let's make this a little practical, right? Okay. So Lisa told you that your why when you're about to quit, right? And so that's a great concept, right? It's a great concept. So let's talk about when you are putting that landing page together and it isn't working. And like you're getting up and you're walking away, but then it's about getting back center going, wait a minute. This is why I'm doing this because. I'm doing this because, and have a face on it. I mean, literally, my clients, one of the first things that they do, and it's in my first book, and it is to sign a promise not to quit. It is a promise not to quit. Sign it, hang it up on your wall, and in that, write yourself a letter as to why you're going to persevere through this. Because I'm not telling you that it's going to be easy. What I'm telling you, it's going to be worth it. If you went through a particular situation that taught you something that you wish that someone had been there to hold you by the hand and help you get through faster, sooner, quicker, easier, and less costly, then you know that you have something that someone else wants. It's just people want to get what you have. I have clients that have overcome cancer. I have clients that have overcome poverty. I have clients that have overcome generational curses, all of those things. What they have is the ability to duplicate these things because they've strategically taken apart what they know.
so that it can be created as a duplicatable process. But then the heart gets big. The heart gets big. Now they want to go and hand out this healing, this deliverance, this solution to everybody and their mama like free cookies.
Woo! The heart gets big. How many of you have experienced that? If you experience it, type that down. The heart gets big. It's like swollen up. And
absolutely.
You just want to go love on everybody and give it to everybody. Believe me, I know that one. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the problem with that is it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And in all honesty, if it's not sustainable, then you're not being a good steward over it.
If it's not sustainable, you're not being a good steward. Type that down in the chat, because that's a good one. Listen, Lisa, I, have been working with some end-of-life doula trainers, right? And so emerging industry, really coming on board full force because of the baby boomer population, right?
Yes.
But that industry is so ridden with what we're talking about right now.
Boom, 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 boom.
I want to do it. I need to do it. I need to do it. But there's two issues. There is a lack issue, that a you are worthy issue, right? That has taken over and put a cloud over almost that entire industry, simply because they haven't learned the business, the wrapping the business around it, and that it's okay to charge for your gift.
It's not just okay, it's imperative.
It's not just okay, it's imperative.
Not just okay, it's imperative. The Bible says that blessed is he who is willing to sell his corn. Now, your corn is your intellectual property. Your corn is your abilities, skills, gifts, and talents. Your corn is what sustains you and your family, and the willingness to sell it means that you care enough for other families to allow them access to it as well.
So if you're watching this video, I want you to type in what's your corn. Tell me what your corn is in the bottom of this video, right? Like, she just dropped Lisa just dropped another jewel on you. But the bottom line is that we have that mixed up. For some reason, like, I'm always using the analogy of Mother Teresa, telling people, wait a minute now, Mother Teresa wasn't broke. She raised millions upon millions upon millions of dollars. Like, and the fact that she helped the poor, but she raised a lot of money in order to do that. And because we mix up being in service with valuing money, like there's some kind of disconnect.
There's a big disconnect. And most of it is taught. It's learned behavior. We're taught to hate Thurston Howell III and love Gilligan, right? So most of it is taught. We were taught to love Fred Sanford with his broke self and hate George Jefferson. We were influenced by media that if you had money, you were bad, and if you were poor, you were good. And if you took care of people with your money, you were good, but they didn't add on there. And then if you only take care of people with your money, then you go broke and you can't keep taking care of them and they can't take care of themselves after that. And then everybody's in a ditch.
Yes.
That's not the look that we want.
Yes.
So sustainability is also helping heart center coaches to understand that creating a nonprofit doesn't mean everything is free.
Woo. Hey, okay, yeah, type that in. Nonprofit does not mean no money. I need y'all to understand that. It's just a zeroing out process, pretty much. If I were to explain it that way. It's just whatever comes in needs to have an expense line kind of associated with it. And yeah, that's an important thing
It
That's
really
an important
is.
thing to know because most people don't know that.
They don't know that. They think that if it's a nonprofit, everything should be free and I can't charge anything. But if you could just shift your mind a little bit and just think of a nonprofit is free to some, financed by someone else.
I had a client recently, right? And it was unbelievable. I actually gave her some scripts for her video and said, of course, change it into your voice, but this is pretty much what I need you to say, what you need to say, because I listened to her and I kind of mirrored back in sales language what she needed to say.
Mm-hmm.
She could not talk about all the things she gives away for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, listen, you can't do that. Not in the same video. I'm okay with you giving it away for free, but in the same, I need you to leave it alone. But and that is conditioning, right? It simply is conditioning.
It is. It's conditioning. So working with the heart-centered coach, first of all, to help them to understand that what they are offering has value and there should be an equal exchange of value for what it is that they're offering if they believe it is truly of value. Mm-hmm. Now, if you don't believe it is of value, then keep giving it away for free and keep working your job and, God bless you. But if you believe that your gift is supposed to make room for you and place you before great men, if you believe that your gift is what you're ultimately supposed to be doing full time, then you must structure it as a gift and not as a business and not as a hobby.
Whew. Okay, you guys have heard it. So, Lisa, where do we go to next, right? They got to know their why. Mm-hmm. Where are we moving to next? What's the next step?
So to structure, for many of the clients that I work with, they have to understand the degrees wherewith money will flow in and out of their business. Now, what happens so often is you've got the all or nothing coaches. So you've got my product cost $1,000 or it's completely free, right? If you have not made a name for yourself in the market and you do not have credibility and you have not had any continued landmarks of success, it's very hard to walk up to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? Give me $5,000 for my product. Mm-hmm. It's just not something that is feasible or viable. So I work with them to create a cash system, which typically includes something complimentary, something on autopilot, something self-study, and then their high-end coaching program. So that then they're not walking up to somebody and getting married. They're taking them through a dating process, similar to what a funnel would do, but essentially giving them a structure so that they can have some wins along the way and have monies coming in along the way while they're building up the foundation of their business, not just a hobby, that it is a business.
Yep. And so let's talk about a lot of that, right? Mm-hmm. So let's give some real world, for lack of a better term, examples, because I think that is so important. So first and foremost, if you were to go to a doctor, like a doctor making sure that you stay healthy, there's nothing else more that should be more heart-centered in my mind other than that, right?
But it ain't free.
Right, but when you go into that doctor's office, you're going to pay for the doctor's visit.
Yes.
If he has to order tests, you're going to pay for that.
Absolutely.
If, whatever that prescription is going to be, if you're going to deal with some pharmaceuticals or whatever, you're going to go pay for that. Absolutely. So that's the first thing. The other thing I want to talk about is when you walk into a department store, you're not walking into that department store and you're going to buy, let's say you're going to a grocery store and you're going to get eggs, but right beside the eggs, you're going to see, maybe there's some dairy products, maybe there's this, that, and the other. There's more than one thing.
Yes. And it's leading you through the path.
It's leading you, the way the store is set up, is leading you through the path. Mm-hmm. Right? Like where things are on the shelves are leading you through the path. You need that in your business. So yes. Most coaches, and if you are a coach that is struggling, think of the coach or the, whether you're a coach or a Reiki, or like you were saying, go look at some examples of the ones you feel are successful, and you're going to notice that what Lisa is telling you is true for their business. There's more than one thing.
Absolutely. There's more than one thing, and there is a process. All those free webinars that are advertised everywhere, those are intended to give you enough of a taste to understand that the individual knows what they're talking about. That's what that is.
And there is a sequence in a well-done webinar. A webinar that performs, there's a sequence, there's a conversation, there are specific things that must be included in order to be successful.
The problem, the solution, the credibility, the relatability, and the experience examples. All of those things are going to be in there, as well as the results that they can get for you. And that webinar is going to lead you either to another low point of entry, if they need to further massage that relationship, or it's going to lead you to a better get it now opportunity that they can get you to sign up and to pay more money. So many of the heart center coaches that I'm working with are trying to work one-on-one with clients to create a sustainable business, and they don't understand that one-on-one is going to take, well, many of them haven't even created the program model that tells them how many one-on-one clients they need to have in order to replace their jobs.
I noticed I'm losing light. Sorry about that. You're absolutely right. And there's so many different kinds of webinars. Like, for instance, like some of the webinars I do lead to telephone calls.
Right.
Because I want to make sure you know enough information
about you and your
about me, about my team, or about the process that we're going to take you through,
right, before
we even get on a call with you.
Right.
Because I want to value your time as much as you're valuing mine.
Absolutely.
Now, there are also, I also might utilize a webinar where, like you said, it could be going to an offer, but I'm making sure you know enough other people who are like you, who have bought, other people who, where people was before,
right,
where they were after. Like, the conversation is very specific. So I love everything that you're saying. Love it.
Awesome. And I really believe that it is a duplicatable process. That's why the acronym CASH makes so much sense. Complimentary is getting as many people there as you can that are ideal to what it is that you're offering, but there's more than one person in the room, so that 1 hour that you're giving away ultimately for free in exchange for the email addresses, in exchange for the next level of whatever your offer is worth the time that you're putting in.
Yes.
And then you're moving them through this system so that you can then ultimately identify someone who's perfectly matched for you, who's perfectly in need of what you're offering. You are perfectly aligned with being able to give them the solution that they need, and they're willing, because they have the money, to exchange the money for the value that you offer. You're not doing it to them. You're doing it for them.
Oh, that's good. You're doing it for them. Okay. Yeah, I was like, okay, wait a minute. I'm losing light fast.
You went into the dark.
I was like, oh my God, wait a minute. And I was trying to use my cell phone light, thinking it would light up enough, and it wouldn't even do nothing.
No, you look like you were getting ready to do ghost stories.
Oh, yeah. Some people were going to be like, no. So, Lisa, tell me this. So we talked about their why. We talked about structuring the business around it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, not only did we talk about structuring the business, being okay with accepting money, number one, right?
Mindset is a big part.
You also talked about the little buys. Understanding that big, like, I think you used the 0 to 1,000, it's either one or the other most of the time.
Most of the time it's hello, how are you doing?
Incremental steps in there.
Yeah, they are important. And if we think about the fact that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, then you have to respect the process. You have to give people a chance to know, like, and trust you. The benefit of today's world is that we have the ability to do that even on a mass level because we have social media. So we're allowing them to see us doing our work. We're allowing them to see us showcasing our expertise. We're allowing them to see us so that they can measure for themselves. Am I a person of integrity that I want to deal with? Am I a person who's knowledgeable at what I know, at what I am claiming to offer? Am I a person who gives value or is only out there for the money? You get to establish your credibility, and in that, what happens is it's almost like a growth spurt. In the beginning, it may seem like it's not moving as quickly as you want it to, which is why it's so important to have those incremental levels of offerings. You got to give people an easy place to interact with you. I don't want to have to be making a car payment, Tina Brinkley Potts decision in order to work with you, and I don't even know if I know that I want to work with you. So by creating these levels to your offerings, by having your complimentary, your low end, something between $20 and $75, your mid end, something between $75 and $500, and then your high end, something between $2,000 and $5,000, you get to give people a chance to give you money without making life and death decisions, so that they can see the value of what it is that you offer.
Absolutely. So yeah, Lisa, I think for us, like now, you know, because our business model changed, we don't even, we when we're offering our done for you services, we don't even, you can't even use our services unless you've at least hit 75,000 in your business, right? Because a lot of times people will go, well, yeah, I make 75,000, but they make that at their job. And I'm like, no, kid. It's got to be in your business. And it's because for me, anything under 6 figures a year, to me, there's a mindset issue. And we got to deal, and most of the time, and many people don't like it, it goes back to that word of worthy, right? It goes back, and I can tell you, like, I hate it when somebody would use the word worthy. Because, like, I know I'm worthy. Like, you know what I mean? And, like, on the surface level, you're like, I know I'm worthy, right? But then when I started digging and realizing, you know, because I can definitely relate to a lot of what you said. I used to be that person. I would run to people I grew up with and wanted to pull them along and with all that I knew, right? And that I'm implementing. And then I would find that I'm spending more time and more energy with people who are paying me for my gifts than these people who were. And that's a big deal. And that, you know, and so I had to change going, okay, you know, what I do is over here, or what I do for a living is over here, and it can't be touched in that zone any longer.
Right.
Yeah, so what you're saying is such a powerful, powerful thing. Now, Lisa, how do you help people with mindset issues? Because again, if you're under 6 figures, to me, it's a mindset thing, and you need someone like Lisa, especially if you're heart-centered, because I know you really want to do it, and you love what you do, you know it's your gift, but you're not earning the money, and maybe somewhere you're still believing you're not supposed to. Like, what's the first thing you would do to help them?
So working through that would be the manifestation process. The manifestation process is really about reflecting, evaluating, projecting, and then specifying and clarifying. They've got to first reflect on what's holding them back.
Okay, but we get ready to go deep on them, because we are talking to heart-centered spiritual people.
Mostly.
They already know manifestation.
Yeah, no, they don't. Bless them. They know so often that, I mean, why do we see throughout the Bible so often where it says, physician, heal thyself? Or, you know, the ones that are the keeper of the keys often need someone else to help them to use them. We all need each other. I mean, every coach needs a coach. It is that important to get someone to help us out of our own way.
Well,
And
yeah. So, and I said it that way, right? Because I want to make sure that people understand that it doesn't matter who you are, you need a coach.
No, absolutely.
Because, you know, what's the saying? You can't see the forest from the trees.
You absolutely.
When you're in it, you know, when you're in it, sometimes you lose focus and you lose perspective. So always having someone that has an external voice who can help you look at the whole picture and help you navigate where you want to go is just so important.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to manifest anything if you don't believe you should have it.
That's a good, let's type that in. You can't manifest anything if you don't believe you can have it. You know, I want to give a little story around that. I remember at one point in time, I was working with, in one of my group coaching programs, I was working with about 6 women who all became really good friends. And there was one person who truly didn't believe that her gift could serve her. And there was some things that needed to come up to the surface so that we could resolve them. But because of so many years of posturing, she couldn't let that happen, which is okay. And I remember having the call of saying, listen, I want to help you, but you got to want to help yourself. And because I don't think you're ready, I think it's time for us to split. So
the question was, will you be made whole?
Will you be made whole? And the thing is that what people don't understand is that person who's not willing to face what they know is there, but they're still afraid, they also might try to become sabotage for your success. Yep. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of times you know you need to go there, but you can't go there with the company you keep. Because the company you keep got those same issues going on most of the time. And it's almost like you guys got to kind of one up each other and can't fully let down and really dig in to move past it. And someone like Lisa is going to be able to go, wait a minute, whoa, right? Like, wait a minute, let's talk about this here. Why won't you do this?
You got to get real with it. If you don't get real with it, then it continues to grow. And if your doubt outgrows your faith, then you're going to squelch it out and you can't succeed. But it really is about getting real. It's about getting real. Yeah. And it's about that. And to me, that goes back to what you were talking about, that why. Because right. Sometimes you got to put these two things beside each other. Right now, me holding on to this perception with these people is more important than my why. You got to put those two things face to face. Mm-hmm. And see, a lot of people will, a lot of times people won't tell you that they'll let you keep buying those online programs because they're not vested. Right. They're not vested with you. Right. When you have somebody who's vested to either coach you through it or help you do it, right? They're kind of getting vested with your goal. Absolutely. And you got to put those things side by side and go, which one's going to win today? Yeah, you do get to decide that, but you as the coach that is actually one of the areas that I often have to work with my heart center coaches in, is knowing when to let go. Knowing when to let go. Yeah. I want it more. than the client. What'd you
Yeah.
say?
I fire people.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
You have
I
to.
did before I wanted to help everybody.
But you
Because
can't.
I am an all-in kind of person. When I'm in something, I'm in. But man, nah, I fire people easy now. Yeah,
You have to, because it ultimately, by continuing to coddle them, we are stunting their growth.
enabling.
Yes.
Right.
And I am an empowerment coach, not an enablement coach.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be able to allow people to fall and remember that they can get up.
Yes, yes, because you can.
You can. You wouldn't be aspiring to be who and what you are if you are intended to be that, if you didn't have those basic abilities.
And that's where, again, when you jumped into knowing your why and taking it deeper than just that surface level that most coaches are saying, when you know that why, you're actually going, you can say, wait a minute, I survived that. The thing that made me want to do this, I survived it. So I can survive a little pain over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Absolutely. I actually take my clients through an exercise very early on, usually in the talks that I give from the stage, is that they were to close their eyes and imagine the very experience that they thought was going to destroy them, that was going to kill them, that was going to take them out, take everything that they had, that experience that they went through that almost killed them.
So you guys close your eyes now. Do this with Lisa.
Absolutely.
Do it now, because it's that important. Do this.
It is. That moment that was so dark, that everything was falling apart. You were in the most pain in your life. There was nobody there to help you. You couldn't see how you would get out. And then when you open your eyes, you get to realize that's behind you. And you've already survived the very worst thing that has ever happened in your life. Whether it was the loss, whether it was the loss of a person, a job, a limb, whatever it was, if you are able to open your eyes, you know that you've already overcome it. And it is that power and that strength, the one that you tapped into when there was nothing else, is the same strength that you have on reserve for this next hurdle that's going to take you to the next level.
That's powerful. That is powerful. So Lisa, I know we could talk this all day long, and I feel like you really have helped so many people, but I want to go back to that one thing we talked about right as I started, that for that heart-centered entrepreneur, coach, Reiki master who is facing getting a job, who is, maybe this is the wife and the husband is going, okay, listen, I want to support you, but at this point, it feels like you need to get a job.
Yes.
What would you say to her?
I would say start taking yourself seriously. Start taking yourself seriously and decide, is this a hobby? Or are you standing up? Are you standing flat-footed and saying that this is what I'm supposed to be doing? If it is, then I need you to reach out and get connected to the one that can help you. See, sometimes we just talking junk. Sometimes we just, I'm going to do this, it's going to be great or whatever. And then you sit back and you're eating bonbons or whatever else.
Or call the people who you know are going to let you stay in your stuff.
In your comfort zone. But if you're serious, then it's time to get out of the comfort zone. And I use a lot of biblical references because I do believe that there's nestled in the Bible is so much power for us. But the man at the pool of Bethesda, see, from the outside in, it looked like every day he was getting up and having somebody take him out there by the water so that he can wait for the water to get moved so that he could get in the water and get healed. Every day. He looked like he was somebody on the path for 38 years of making a success out of himself. But after Jesus, who said he must needs go through Samaria and made his way to the pool of Bethesda, stepping over man after man to finally come to this man and ask him, will you be made whole? In instead of saying, yes, I will, I am here every day for this moment, he began to give excuses for why he ain't doing nothing.
Well. So for those of you watching, are you giving excuses? Or are you standing firm, flat-footed?
And willing to invest in yourself to gain the success that you believe, that you know that you deserve. Because there's somebody waiting for you. There's somebody waiting for you that can't be served by me or anybody else. They're waiting specifically for the skills, gifts, and talents that have been created as a result of your pain, your life experiences, and they need it from you. Have you decided that you don't care enough about that? Is it too much work? Or will you be made whole?
And isn't this a beautiful thing? Like, for instance, you're experiencing me, you're experiencing Lisa. I'm using my platform to showcase Lisa. I'm a coach, she's a coach. Like, the bottom line is, and what Lisa just said, she says, hey, there's people that I can't serve.
Absolutely.
Who are waiting for you. She's not coming at this from a lack version. She's not coming at this from a abundance. You gotta go get yours and you gotta scrap with everybody else and you gotta compete, because your gifts make room for you.
Absolutely.
Because your gift is not anybody else's gift.
It is
so
not.
It's going to make room for you when you surround yourself around people who are going to help you understand that. Now, I got to tell you, it's funny because sometimes we don't know what that actually looks like or sounds like. But the thing I can tell you is that when you really hear it, and you might have a little bit of fear with it. Because if it don't have at least a little bit of fear, then it might not be right.
It ain't big enough yet.
It ain't big enough yet. Maybe that's the person that's going to help you stay comfortable right in that spot that you're in.
Yeah.
But when it's going to stretch you, there's some pain involved in it.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I can tell you some of my spiritual clients hate when I use the word pain, but I keep telling them pain and suffering is two different things. Because suffering comes when you're not living that gift, because you keep going around doing what the head kept telling you to do, trying to make sense of it all, this, that, and the other, but you keep leaving that heart part behind, and that heart part keeps pulling you back to that thing, and because you keep trying to avoid that pain, now you're suffering.
Yes.
The only way to it is through it. And from this brief conversation, I can tell you that Lisa Santiago McNeill can help you get there.
Oh, yeah.
So, Lisa, I know you said you were going to bring something for the people that watch this video.
Yeah. So, in all honesty, what I brought and where we ended up going are two different things. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that offer on the table, because I do believe that heart center coaches need to have a book in their repertoire, and some of them need to rewrite that book, because some of them wrote that book from their heart. God bless them, and it's wonderful, but don't nobody know you and don't nobody care, and it's not enough.
Lisa, I just wanted to say this to you. I'm gonna bring you back. And we'll talk the whole book thing, okay? We'll go there. Let's put that on the table. We're gonna talk the whole book thing. But
for this, I would really offer a consultation. I would love to give them the opportunity to join me for a brief consultation, 15 or 20 minutes. I promise you this, I will be able to allow you to ask me whatever it is that you want to ask me. And if it is within my purview and wheelhouse to serve the need that you have, I will let you know what it takes to work with me. But if I'm not the right person, I have an arsenal of amazing coaches that I can connect you with to make sure that you get the help that you need, because it is that important to me that you succeed.
Wow. I love that. I so love that. I love so many parts of this conversation. I mean, bottom line is I think the best thing that I love, again, is that we're talking about letting your gifts make room for you.
Absolutely.
Because when you know it's your gift, like you said, it's either your wheelhouse or it's not, and you're okay when it's not.
You got to be okay. Why do you want to toil in something that ain't for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'll destroy your reputation.
Yes.
It'll destroy your time.
Yeah.
And it'll make you unavailable for those that you can really help.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I don't want any of those
gifts
things.
Make room for you.
Yeah.
You gotta let your gifts make room for you. So
Absolutely.
The first thing I want you to do is there's a link below. There's actually two. One is to the book offer. We didn't really go into the book. The conversation took a whole way of its own, but at least you guys know it wasn't scripted, right? Like that we really are having awesome, honest, heartfelt conversations on how to actually move the needle in your business. And so it just took on a life of its own, but I'm kind of glad that it did. And so then there's that link, and then there's the link of you getting a free consult with Lisa, and just so she can help you get on the right path, right? Like the most important thing, if you didn't hear this, I just want to emphasize it. The most important thing is she wants to help you really showcase and build that business around your gift. However, if it isn't in her wheelhouse on where you are, she is going to just give you a resource. So either way, she's going to serve you in that conversation. Man, there's not a lot of people that do that now.
There should be. There should be more of it.
But I just want you to know that's something special right there. Being able to say, okay, we might not be the perfect fit. However, like that's always leaving you better than when you showed up.
Absolutely.
Lisa, you have anything else you want to say to this conversation?
I just want to let people know that I'm rooting for you. I want to see you succeed, because together we all achieve more. And it really is about bringing the final closing to greatness in this world. I want to leave it better than I found it. That means elbow to elbow, yoked up with somebody else who's doing the same thing. So thank you so much for having me.
You are so welcome. Okay, y'all, let's go get elbow to elbow. Share, get the ebook about the book. Sign up for that.
Writing your book in 7 simple steps. And we'll come back on another time and talk about that. Absolutely. But it is an effective book. It's not just a book that you want to get out of your head, but it's a book that people will actually want to get. So again, so just remember that that's something. Don't just sign up for it and then don't read it. Like, read, put it into practice. Read, put it into practice. Well, Lisa, I want to thank you again for being here. I so enjoyed this time. Hey, everybody, if you know somebody who can benefit from hearing this, please share it with them, because I know a lot of people that are heart-centered coaches. And, you know, I know for me and where I am right now and what I have going on, it just doesn't serve for me to even stay in that lane, because I have this. And so, you know, but I still want to help you. Well, and that's why we work together. That's exactly why I partner with some of my other coaches, because I mean, I used to be, when I first started out, of course, as a coach myself, starting out, I was working one-on-one a lot more on the heart and getting the heart fixed. And then as my clients grew and elevated out of what we were working on, they wanted to be certified and they wanted to do the same thing. So I started working with them there, but I can't go back and forth. So now the amazing clients that have gone through my coaching are now available to be coaches and to navigate someone else through the process that for me is just not the best use of my time anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just like you're working with people 75K and above. That's the best use of your time right now. But allowing your platform to avail itself to help those on other levels so that they can get to the place where they're going to need you.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what happens with the ones that I refer.
Mm-hmm.
They heal, they become whole, and they want to help someone else. And they remember how they got where they got. And those referrals keep coming back and bearing fruit.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that the referrals keep coming back and bearing fruit. You know, it really just is it's a wonderful thing. And when you know this in your heart, the way that Lisa and I do, you know that you can share openly.
Oh my goodness.
Share whatever you have openly because it just comes back.
It comes back.
That's what we're doing here today. So again, if you know somebody who needs this, who needs to hear this, who needs to see a level of communication and sharing that's beyond what most people have even experienced. I mean, I think even just in this session that you guys saw such a give and take that was just beautiful. So
absolutely.
I thank you for being here.
Thank
Lisa, I thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm going to close this session out and see you guys the next time. Bye.